helped form me into the person I am today and encouraged me. My mother and my father, who loved and accepted me. My mother wrote poetry about what I was going through and helped me that way. Howard Sachs, who showed me there's a world outside Johannesburg. Ian McKellen, who held me and walked through the squares of London hand in hand, showing me pride. Art de Villiers, my lecturer, who guided me through many aspects of LGBTQ issues. Sharon Bone, the drag queen, who gave me free drinks because I was obsessing about her, where she worked at the club. Raymond Theart, my partner and my talent agent, who I love so tremendously, and all my friends and lovers, friends in the arts world, and friends in the theater world. Thank you.
When I think of home, I think of a place where there's love overflowing. I wish I was home, I wish I was back there, where the things I've been knowing. Wind that makes the tall grass bend into leaning. Suddenly the raindrops that fall have meaning, sprinkling the sea, makes it all so clear. Maybe there's a chance for me to go back now that I have some direction. It sure would be nice to be back home where there's love and affection. And just maybe I can convince time to slow up, giving me enough time in my life to grow up. Time be my friend, let me start again. Suddenly my world has gone and changed its face, but I still know where I'm going. I have had my mind spun around in space, yet I've watched it growing. Oh, if you're listening, God, please don't make it hard to know if we should believe the things that we see. Tell us, should we run away or should we try and stay? Or would it be better just to let things be? Living here in this brand new world might be a fantasy, oh, but it taught me to love. So it's real, so real, so real to me. And I learned we must look inside our hearts to find a world full of love like yours, like mine, like home.
Hey everyone, my name is Dr. Lulu. I am a retired pediatrician and I bring you good tidings from San Antonio, Texas. I am also the life coach for parents of LGBTQ plus kids, and I want to say thank you to the organizers for giving me an opportunity this golden opportunity to speak to you all about who I am and what I do. I'm a mother of a non-binary young adult, and I'm very, very, very supportive and very vocal about the people in the LGBTQ plus community. Not only am I a member, I'm also a speaker and I'm an activist. And so I'm going to just take a moment to share with you why you should support your child. I not only support my child, I also coach parents on accepting and supporting their children. You see, no one that I know chooses to be born LGBTQ+. No one chooses to be gay, as it were. No one chooses a life that is almost sure to be abused and insulted and ostracized and possibly even killed in some countries. No one chooses that. So that aside, studies have shown that less than 50% of children today, age 13 through 20, are straight. Less than 50%. And that's compared to 65 to 75% of the millennials and the adults. So that will give you an idea of what we're talking about here. The children of today have found their voice. They have decided to stop hiding in a closet, literally, and they have decided to come out and live their lives out loud. While you and I, from the old days, are still living in a false state of high morals and high values and religion. But I'm here to tell you that a child at the age of 3 knows that they are cis or non, right? Either straight or trans. If a child at the age of 3 knows, that means that if the child comes out to you at 15 or 24, that's not when they knew. And so that's just one of the things that I discuss with my patients and my parents and my clients in the space that I work in. Children know these things, and just because you're screaming and shouting that it's abnormal or is illegal or an abomination doesn't make it untrue. The question to ask yourself is why? Why do you feel a need to ostracize a person, a whole human being? Why do you feel a need to say that their life doesn't matter? What pain are you in, literally, for you to feel that about someone else? If you'd like more information, my name is Dr. Lulu. My website is www.dr-lulu.com. Holla at me. Bye.
Afrique 2021, everyone. I feel incredibly lucky to be part of this celebration this year. And as part of the celebration, I would love to talk about my friends, the people, the young men and women in my life whose, by just the sheer force of their will to be who they are, to persevere, to survive in a country like Nigeria that doesn't make it easy for one to be queer, these people have managed to retain their authenticity and their truth and to live it unapologetically. And they, because of this, they make me to be a better part of myself every day. You know, knowing that they're in my life makes me very much a better person. They inspire me, they fill me with courage. And I don't think I would be much of who I am without them in my life. Special mentions to my fellow host on the Minority Report Nigeria, KBK, and a bunch of others who I'm sure will not appreciate their names being mentioned here. Thank you very much.
As a gay man, I am being seen as or perceived to have a single story, and it's kind of a battle both within and outside. Within, convincing yourself that you are not extraordinary, you are not strange, you are not an alien, you are an everyday human being. Outside, you're trying to convince people that you shouldn't have single story about me. I am gay and I am many things in one, and is the fight of every gay man, including me. It gives joy that you realize there are a lot of people out there that are like you, and they are striving every day, and their strive, their resilience, to me is inspiring. It gives me this hope and courage that I can stand on their shoulder and see the world, that they are, or they were, resilient, persevering, to be many things, to be productive, to have no limitation, and is inspiring to me as a gay man. Personally, always try to keep my head above the water, and the strength I exude, the strength I try to live at comes within, that I have achieved something, that my sexuality do not in any way define me or limit me. I do not go where I am not being accepted. I do not start conversation where I will feel to perform. I don't feel comfortable in pretense, in performance. So I go where I am real. I'll have to be real. I have to say my truth, and it helps. It helps me. I close my door to anything that will have to affect my mental health, affect me in trying to perform, in trying to be what I am not, because I can't fit in.
Remember when we were kids, those days the sky so blue. Remember when we played games and the world wasn't yet so cruel. Remember when I lost you once, when I let go of
You Yes, I've fallen in love a couple of times. I didn't think I ever would, but I did. Because there's no manual to queer love, so half the time, the things that I assumed was love was actually just, response to kindness. And I feel like many people can relate to that. When someone is actually kind to you, and and not sees you as a human being, and not some weirdo or someone who's confused. When someone sees you for you, and celebrates you for you, hold space for you, you might be tempted to think it's love. And for me, I've had those moments, and I'll talk about the most impactful one. I think when I was 21, I had really strong feelings for someone, and looking back, I think the reason why there were strong feelings is because he was my ideal. You know, he was older, he was educated, he was good looking, he had a job, and he was I don't call him an activist, but he was on the forefront of doing things, of, you know, creating change. So I was in awe of that person. And I remember when we were talking and we were doing things, and I was like, you know, I really like you. I feel like me and you can have a future together. Yeah. So I used to think that the person you fall in love with is the person you marry. Clearly that's not the case, because I've been married like, let's say 11 times. Anyway, so I confided in my feelings for this person, and this person, and God bless his soul, because he just sat me down and told me, look, this is not love. This is, whatever you're feeling is maybe appreciation, whatever, but it's not love. And give yourself time, you'll realize it. Of course I was heartbroken. I was like, how dare you, you know, try to do that man thing where you tell me my feelings are not valid, and so on and so forth. But it was one of the best decisions it was one of the best discussions that I've ever had about feelings and love. Yeah, one of the best discussions, because I knew that just because I feel something doesn't mean that I have to go into it blindly. I have to, you know, converse. We have to agree to not become boyfriends, but we are friends till now. A year later, I got into shenanigans with someone. And I'm using the word shenanigans because it is in no way a relationship. It's more like two people who regularly have sex with each other, but one person is still crying after their ex. At that time, the situation worked. And it was like a negotiation. Like, I'll hang out with you and your friends, because his friends were really amazing. Like, he was out and he had a circle of friends that were affirming and they were loving. And basically they were the first group, I think, after college, who knew that someone was queer and they were like not crazy or Bible thumping and evangelical about. And that shenanigans came into that space. So I can't even say that, you know, it was a specific time. It lasted for a specific timeline, because it was on and off. And but what I do remember is that when I left, I really left. And it was an important lesson about boundaries. Half the things we went through, or the things that we put each other through, if I had boundaries, they wouldn't have, you know, happened. I remember I had that feeling that during that entire time we were together, I used to feel like, this is not me, this is not the life I want. So just walking away from that really helped me to know that if I'm ever in a relationship, it has to be decided on. You have to agree we're in a relationship. We have to have common values. We have to have a common goal we're working towards. We have to, like, it has to be something other than just being together and drinking on Saturdays and, you know, chilling with friends. Like, it has to be more than that. I listen to people's relationship stories and I'm like, huh? Like, that sounds like your friend. That doesn't sound like your boyfriend. Apparently, they're the same. So maybe that goes to show that how much I need to learn about queer love. But letting go and not being bitter and not just focusing on, am I not with someone? Why am I by myself? You know, just that has made me live a very healthy queer life. I see people fixated on finding the one. Yeah, of course, to each his own. But I also feel like there is such joy in just being with yourself and, you know, and just discovering queerness on your own terms without having to discover queerness with someone else. Because that's what relationships do. Like, if you're not solid in your identity, you merge, you will, you know, submerge, you do things with others. And I'm really grateful that even in my first relationship, I was able to still be myself. And even after it ended and I started doing my movement building work, there are some things that I've taken from that relationship where I am more than just a gay man. I'm more than just someone's boyfriend, you know, that there's a bigger picture. I'm here for much more than just romantic love. Do I want it? Yes. Am I sad that I don't have it? No. So yeah, that's it. There's so much joy in letting go, and ultimately just creating space, pockets of love everywhere you go. And I think for me, my pockets of love are in my chosen family, and with my friends, with the people I spend time with, in my with the workplace culture that we have. That in every place I feel affirmed, I feel loved, and I feel seen, and I don't have to hide. Even in situations where sometimes and I know it's a privilege, not many people are able to fully say that, you know, I feel seen, or I feel heard, or I feel valued, and it's very hard for me. It's rare. Not everyone has it, but it's one of the things that I'm really grateful for in my life.
Remember when we were kids, those days the sky so blue. Remember when we played games and the world wasn't yet so cruel. Remember when I lost you once, when I let go of us, yeah. Remember how I felt when you left and my heart tore into two. And now
one of the major issues, and it's a holdover from sort of colonial Victorian, is the issue of sexual preference in many African countries. In Kenya, to be gay, the LGBT community is illegal. They just want to have equal rights, the same privacy and equality as all other Kenyans do.
I want to be very clear, Christiana. I will not engage in a subject that is of no, it is not of any major importance to the people and the Republic of Kenya. This is not an issue as you would want to put it.
If allowed, it will lead to same-sex persons living together as couples. Such relationships, whether in private or not, formal or not, would be in violation of the tenor and spirit of the Constitution.
We are saying no to homosexuality. Why should you say we're going to be civilized if we only allow it? Are you saying we are very primitive now because we are frowning upon homosexuality?
When you're born in a world that tells you you don't belong, every day becomes a fight. You fight against the voices that claim you are a non-issue. You fight against the voices that claim that your existence is a threat to family values. You even fight against the internal voices that may try to tell you you are not enough. Being African and LGBT+ means fighting a lot of battles all at once. There's this idea that homosexuality is an African, a Western import sent to corrupt children. We saw this idea present in the anti-gay bill recently put forward in Ghana that asserts that states rely on the right to self-determination to preserve their social-cultural values by enacting legislation to minimize the effect of unacceptable foreign influence. The idea here is that being LGBT+ is a result of foreign influence, and that by being LGBT+ persons, we are not deserving of human rights. One of the people behind this bill went on Twitter to say that homosexuality is not a human right, it is a sexual preference. For LGBT plus people in Ghana, the bill is the latest attack in a series of attacks against the community that have been experienced since the beginning of the year. From the raid and closure of a community space earlier on, to the arrest of 21 human rights defenders who were arrested and charged with unlawful assembly for attending a human rights workshop. And not to mention the anti-gay sentiments that are commonly touted by religious and political leaders every single day. There's also Cameroon, where 2 trans women were arrested, charged with attempted homosexuality, and sentenced to 5 years imprisonment. Or Uganda, where an LGBT plus shelter was raided and 44 people were arrested. Even though we've seen an increase in arbitrary arrests of LGBT plus people since the year began, that's not all. In our work, every day we hear stories of LGBT plus people who've had to flee their home due to abuse. We've had stories of people being evicted from their homes. We've had stories of people losing their jobs because of their sexual orientation or their gender identity. But we're also seeing LGBT plus people fight back. We're fighting back in a number of ways. First, by speaking up against the injustices we face every day in our communities. We're fighting back by starting petitions that seek to demand justice for LGBT plus people across the continent. We are speaking up against those that try to criminalize and dehumanize us. We're putting our voices out there so that homophobes do not control the narrative. We are also fighting back by supporting one another in numerous ways, by organizing within our communities, by setting up LGBT plus shelters so our siblings have somewhere to go, and also by decrying the injustices we see in other countries on social media. We are fighting back by being ourselves amidst voices that try to tell us that our self is wrong. And we're fighting back by loving, even in these countries where love is illegal. At All Out, we are supporting LGBT plus people within the continent through the use of our petition platform, the only petition platform created specifically for LGBT plus rights and issues. We are also supporting LGBT plus grassroots organizations by linking and connecting them with All Out members who are scattered across the globe, who then donate to their projects and campaigns. Through storytelling campaigns such as the Voices of Eswatini, the Voices of Kenya, and the All Out Photo Award, we get to hear real-life stories of lived experiences of LGBT plus people, and we see the strength, the resilience, and the power that LGBT plus people in Africa and beyond hold. As a lesbian in Kenya, I fight back by being myself, and I fight back by choosing to love myself and my partner loudly. Every day, I make the choice to love myself, to love my partner, and in so doing, creating a safe space where I can belong, even as I look forward to a country that accepts me in my full homosexual glory. Thank you.
So it was the summer of 2012. I had US. At the time, I had just finished a job. Actually,
Do you ever feel like a plastic bag drifting through the wind, wanting to start again? Do you ever feel you're so paper thin, like a house of cards, one blow from caving in? Do you ever feel already buried deep, 6 feet under screens, but no one seems to hear a thing? Do you know that there's still a chance for you? There's a spark in you. You just gotta ignite the light and let it shine. Just on the night, like the 4th of July. 'Cause baby, you're a firework. Come on, show 'em what you're worth. Make 'em go, as you shoot across the sky. Baby, you're a firework. Come on, let your colors burst. Make 'em go, you're gonna leave 'em all in awe. You don't have to feel like a wasted space. You're original, cannot be replaced. If you only knew what the future holds after a hurricane comes a rainbow. Maybe the reason why all the doors are closed, so you can open one that leads you to the perfect road. Like a lightning bolt, your heart will glow, and when it's time, you know, you just gotta ignite the light and let it shine. Just on the night, like the 4th of July. 'Cause baby, you're a firework. Come on, show 'em what you're worth. Make 'em go, as you shoot across the sky. Baby, you're a firework. Come on, let your colors burst. Make 'em go, you're gonna leave 'em all in awe. Boom, 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 even brighter than the moon, moon, moon. It's always been inside you, and now it's time to let it through. Baby, you're a firework. Come on, show 'em what you're worth. Make 'em go, as you shoot across the sky. Baby, you're a firework. Come on, let your colors burst. Make 'em go, you're gonna leave 'em all in awe. Boom, 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 even brighter than the moon, moon, moon. Boom, 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 even brighter than the moon.
The LGBTQI communities continue to face criminalization and even the death penalty in several countries around the world, including many countries on our own beautiful continent of Africa. As a former president in a constitutional democracy, I believe that everyone is entitled to equality and dignity, and no one should have to hide their identity or live in fear of persecution, arrest, imprisonment, and violence. LGBTQI rights are human rights. To this end, I commend the organizers of the continent-wide gathering of affirmation and information called Pride Afrique.
Happy Pride Afrique 2021. I'm super excited that Pride Afrique is back this year. And today, I would love to celebrate the one and the only Amar the lesbian. For those who know, you know. Well, Amar the lesbian is a Nigerian lesbian YouTuber who lives and loves in Nigeria. Her content is absolutely authentic. I love it. She takes you through her life from going to the market to cooking, sharing her relationship journey, and also giving positive messages. Thank you for everything you do. You are super brave. I also want to thank all of the LGBTQ Nigerians who
Hi everyone, my name is David Naneko, calling from South Africa, and I want to celebrate persons like John Russell Gordon, my publisher, Regina Macaulay, Dr. Zubika Maro Guno, Kenny Badmus, Professor Fuyun, Pierre Breward, Olusegun Odumosu, Michael Gianniaco, the rest of the Center for Human Rights family, and my family back home in Nigeria. I want to say thank you so much for working hard and crossing the line, creating a safe space for the queer persons around you, as the universe constantly strengthens you and grants you the grace to certainly be a sort of inspiration for us all. Wishing you all a very happy Pride of Freak and a wonderful, wonderful, colorful life. Bye.
Waiting for your first step, I'm watching very close to your neck. As I open them like a waiter, no one can deny the trap. Something off we can say, it's all over your face. You will get it, I am watching you. It is time to bring the pace. 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 It is time to bring it. I am watching you, you are watching me, we are watching you. I am watching you, you are watching me, we are watching you. I am watching you, you are watching me, we are watching you. I am watching you. Living like a cannibal playing baby.
So it was the summer of 2012.
I don't need you to love me.
Hello, my name is Ayuba and I'm from Morocco, North Africa. And visibility to me as a North African, I guess, is going out every day as a queer African and saying that I'm here and we have been always been here. I guess visibility is just being yourself in a society where your existence is illegal, like Morocco. So being in this society and going out every day is a form of resistance and visibility that I much respect. So yeah, this is me and bye bye.
I've got my sister. I can feel her.